And we're recording, so hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Bounty Hunters Guild podcast, and today we actually have a pretty special episode. We, came up with a roster of characters that we would like to see in Battlefront 3. This is a personal list, you can agree and disagree in any way you want. Do you want to go first? Oh, by the way, just gotta point this out, Taco is not here today. It's just me and the grilling guy, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No, you'll go first.
Alright, I'll go first then. So, a lot of the characters, are returning, and I didn't change them. Really? So my list might be a little bit quicker. So starting off with heroes, I have Anakin, which he has the same loadout. Obi-Wan, the same. Luke is the same, but with a nerf to his overall speed, as that's a complaint that the Battlefront 2 community has had quite a bit, is his huge speed. Han Solo I have as the same, Chewie the same, Rey the same, and my first original character, Ahsoka, I have, Offensive Rush, which is like Obi-Wan's defensive rush, except, guess what, more offensive based, who would have guessed, a standard force push, so kind of like the opposite of Obi-Wan in that regard again, because he is like a standard force pull, and her like special, I guess you could call it. I called it bold moves because I couldn't think of a good name for it, but it's increased speed and damage output for a limited time. And then for skins, I figured you could have, you know, all three of her lightsaber colors, because she's had green, blue, and white. And that's basically it for Ahsoka. Moving on to Lando, which I have as the same. And then next I have the Mandalorian. He has tripwire, which is basically he shoots, you know, like a tripwire out of his arm onto an enemy and trips them, so they fall over and take a little bit of damage. So I also have one called Flame Burst, which is like on the top of his wrist. He has like a little built-in flamethrower, and it's kind of like Count Dooku's like lightning field thing, but except it's fire and it doesn't, you know, stun, because fire doesn't really stun. And then I have his special called Gunner's Focus. Increased damage output, and his gun cannot overheat during the time.
Well, wait, what about a sniper, though?
That I figured that he would use the sniper.
Well, no, because that would just be way too overpowered, since canonically it's a one-hit.
I guess. But it would have a slow rate of fire. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we could make him a little bit like Bosk. He could use his pistol, and then during, you know, special ability Gunner's Focus, he could bring out his sniper.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright, but then he would be pretty similar to Bosk. But, I guess, yeah. Alright, moving on to my next character, Kit Fisto. He has a standard force pull, like Obi-Wan, a lightsaber run, which is like Luke's like dash, where he like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, he kind of twirls his lightsaber while like jumping forward, kind of like that. And Kit Fisto's special is True Focus. Every other attack on a blocking character hits, and he has increased damage resistance. Moving on to Plo Koon, who I have, one of his abilities is Meditate. You just use it and he just gains 50 health. That's really it. Electric Judgment, which is a lesser known move. It's similar to Force Lightning, but it's a light side ability, and the lightning is yellow. So I figured that could work like Count Dooku's, once again, his like lightning range, except have a not stun, but instead slow the enemy. And he also has True Leader as a special. He buffs every stat for every ally in like a circular area around him, including himself. Then I have Yoda, which has the same. And then I have Mace Windu as my last hero, so I completely cut both BB-8 and Leia. Mace Windu has Overpower, which is kind of like Anakin's like strong strike. It's just like a huge lightsaber hit that you can't block and does quite a bit of damage, but it doesn't have a lot of range. Vision Blur, which is like in a field in front of him, he makes anybody in front of him in that field, like, stuns, blurs their vision. And then he has, so I had trouble of what to name his special ability, because Count Dooku's special ability is called Duelist. So the one I have, it's not the one that I would name it, but it's called, I just named it Force Duelist. Now, basically what this ability would do is he would get increased speed and get into an always blocking state for a limited amount of time. No matter if it's a blaster bolt or a lightsaber attack, all around him he would block it. And if it's a lightsaber attack, when he blocks it, he actually counterattacks it and delivers one strike that does a heavy amount of damage. It's kind of like a limited time invincibility almost.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah. And then that's all I have for heroes. Like I said, completely cutting Leia and BB-8 from the game. But I figured if you wanted, they could be added in updates. Now moving on to my villains. I have Vader, which is the same, Maul, which is the same, Grievous, the same, Boba Fett, the same, Count Dooku, the same, and now Cad Bane. So I had trouble thinking of good abilities based on like his signature stuff, so this is pretty like just a generic bounty hunter, but it's pretty special, I would say. I don't think, not because it relates to his character a lot, but because there's really no other bounty hunter that in Battlefront history that has a loadout like this. He has a landmine that he can place, and it has like a field around it that if you step on it, it explodes and does quite a bit of damage. He has a fire change, which is basically, he has two pistols. He shoots them like 1, 2. He shoots the first and instantly shoots the second. With fire change, you can just toggle it to shoot both at once, and then toggle it again to shoot like one delayed, if that makes sense. And he has Deadshot, which is, if you've ever played Overwatch, it's kind of like McCree's ultimate ability. You slow down a bit. Your sensitivity goes down, and when you look at someone, when your cursor is over them, it marks them, and you mark a bunch of people, and then at the end of a timer, he shoots all of them and kills all of the ones that he's highlighted.
Yeah.
Next I have Pong Krell, who is the exact opposite of Plo Koon. In terms of that's the hero villain pairing. He actually has a very similar loadout to Darth Maul. He has he has a forward flip, which is literally Darth Maul's, how he basically dives.
Yeah, he leaps at them while he's spinning and then slashes them a ton with his lightsaber.
Yeah, Pong Krell, that's one of his abilities. He also has the saber throw, and then he has an extreme. Oh my gosh, someone's calling me. It's Taco. One sec. I'll pick that up real quick. Okay, never mind. Anyways, Ponkrell's last ability is an extreme force pull. Kind of like the opposite of Darth Maul. He has that extremely good force push. It'd be like that, but a force pull for Ponkrell. Oh my god, he's calling me again. 1 second. One sec. Sorry. There. Yeah, I'm recording right now. What? I will after I'm done recording. Alright. See you in a minute. Anyway, alright, moving on. So yeah, Ponkrell just has an extreme, like, force pull that's extremely powerful, like an opposite of Darth Maul. So he's pretty similar to Darth Maul. If you just made Ponkrell a skin for Darth Maul, it would probably work just as well, but I think it'd be cool to have him as his own hero. Alright, next up is the character that I have returning from Battlefront 1, Greedo. But I gave him his own custom loadout, because I wasn't a huge fan of his loadout. So I actually gave him a different gun, too. It's a totally made-up gun, to be honest. But I feel like it works, because if you look at the one scene he's in, it kind of looks like his gun. It's like Han Solo's gun, but instead of having the scope to the side, the scope's right on top of the gun. Cosmetically. It fires slower, and it does a little bit more damage. It's like a sniper, kind of. And his abilities are just a detonate, like Han Solo. A smoke screen, like Lando. And his special ability, Trigger Happy, which he like flips the gun and the scope actually shifts to the side, making it look a lot more like Han Solo's gun. And so, because it's blasters, not guns, they have like a very, like, the bullets take a long time to travel. But with this, his fire speed would pick up and the bullets would travel faster. And if he ever gets hit with like a blaster, he instantly fires, no hesitation, a bullet right back at the person that fired at him. So yeah, that's. And now moving on, I have Bosk and Palpatine, which are both the same. And next is Asajj Ventress. She has, the two lightsabers, but her attacking animations would have her attack with one at a time. Because one of her special abilities is a double strike, where she strikes with both. It can do double the damage of a normal attack if you're not blocking, but only does the same damage as a normal attack if you are blocking. She has a spin ability where she like sticks out both the lightsabers to the side and just, spins like a Beyblade. And her special is called Finesse Attack, which basically is kind of like Mephisto's True Focus, where it cuts through blocks, but instead of increasing her damage resistance, it increases her damage output. Moving on. Oh, I also have Kylo Ren with the same abilities. But moving on to my last one is the Grand Inquisitor, with like a helicopter ability. It kind of works like an aerial. He has helicopter ability where he spins his lightsaber and he like goes up a bit.
Oh god, that ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he also has one that's a fast dash, which is just a dash forward. Because he would work a little bit like the aerial trooper, so they can jetpack up and jetpack to the sides. And then, probably the most ridiculous ability, the lightsaber spins and he puts it like in front of him, and it's a spin rush, where the lightsaber spin and he just walks at you, kind of like General Grievous's, what is it called, Unrelenting Advance, I think. Kind of like that. And that's what my roster would be for a Battlefront 3. I didn't go over my skins, actually. So, let me go over some of the skins for all the heroes that already exist. You know, have their normal skins, but the characters that I added, let me go over some of their skins. I went over Ahsoka's. Mandalorian doesn't have that many skins he could do. Kit Fisto as well doesn't have that many skins, I feel like. Now, Plo Koon could have, or Kit Fisto would also have Jedi robes, or just, you know, normal. Plo Koon would have, you know, normal and Jedi robes, but would also have a Legends look, which would be Jedi robes, but with a yellow lightsaber. Because he had a yellow lightsaber in Legends. Mace Windu, I feel like it'd be cool. So he would have his normal and his Jedi robes. And I feel like it'd be cool if he had one called Survivor, where he had like a gray beard and one robotic arm as well. But of course, for that, it'd have to be canon that he survives. And I don't know if that's canon. Cad Bane? Can't think of many. I guess maybe if you wanted to, you could get rid of his cowboy hat. I don't know. Pong Krell could have normal Jedi robes and like a general kind of look. Greedo only has literally one appearance, so he wouldn't have any skins. Asajj could have like cloak on and cloak off. Grand Inquisitor, I can't think of many for Grand Inquisitor. Maybe one without and maybe one with a hood on. I don't know. And yeah, that's my heroes and villains list.
So I'm gonna warn you right now, I really do not got much because I couldn't think of any ideas for other characters such as like Pong Krell.
Yeah.
So, but this is really all my thought process. So for Ahsoka, I got like a standard force pull, but it doesn't necessarily kill your opponent, such as like a little heavy or gunner. Doesn't necessarily kill them, it just kind of staggers them towards you. So then she would probably be able to leap towards them. So then I also got a lightsaber throw because we genuinely didn't get any characters that had a lightsaber throw. And I feel like that Ahsoka would probably be pretty good with that. So I also got one called deactivation where she would turn off the opponent's lightsaber or deactivate one of the units, one of the battle units, weapons for a short amount of time. So then, because she was able to turn off lightsabers in mid-battle, so I feel like that would probably do some pretty good to her character. So for outfits, I got her Siege of Mandalore, the one that we first saw her in the Clone Wars movie, the one where it looked like a turtleneck, the iconic one where it has like that big hole on her back, and with all those diamond-looking things on her legs too. I don't even know what it's called, but you know what I mean. And the outfit that she has in Rebels. So for Mace Windu, I have sort of like what Maul has, where he just leaps at the enemy and starts slashing them. One called Force Fists, where he kind of just starts punching all the enemies, but as soon as he punches them, it force pushes them away. Like what we saw in the 2003 Clone Wars TV show, where he was just punching all of the battle droids. And a dashing strike, kind of like Obi-Wan's. So his outfits would just be the regular Jedi Master one, Jedi robes, and then General Windu. So then I also did Padme, and so I did a thermal hand grenade, and then adding support for nearby allies, kind of like what the officer has, and then shoulder charging on the enemies, so like they would fall down. And I only got one outfit for her, which was the Geonosis one, because she has so many outfits, and I couldn't think of other ones.
She could have, you know, her like Queen one, her in disguise one. She could have her Geonosis one, but then she could also have like a version that's like the Claude Geonosis one.
Yeah, battle damage Geonosis. But the thing is with the one where it's the queen, she has that big headpiece, so it's really hard just to see.
Yeah.
So for Asajj Ventress, I would say probably she gets to have both of her lightsabers, but her power instead is turning the lightsaber into the double-bladed lightsaber, and then she kind of just goes on a like just a kind of killing spree with it, like what Kylo has with that frenzy, sort of something along those lines.
Yeah,
And then
I have her
and then
with both of
powerful.
hers too.
Uh,
I have her with both of hers too, just she attacks with one at a time, kind of like how Anakin would used to. You know, you attack with one, then attack with the other, not both at the same time.
yeah. And then like a dueling mode, like kind of what Dooku had, where he would kind of just be like a more like a kind of like a dueling kind of stance. I don't remember what it was called, but it was just the one where you would press both bumpers. And then Cad Bane, I could really only think of two of them, which was sort of like an electric punch where it would kill regular troopers, but it would make heroes and villains, well, just heroes, unconscious. And then also one where he sets up a thermal detonator trap. So it kind of just puts thermal detonators all around the floor, walls, and the ceiling.
Oh, kind of like how I have the mind ability for him.
Yeah. But that's really all my thought process, because like I said, I couldn't think of any other ones for characters like Plo Koon or Kit Fisto and Ton Krell.
Yeah, I think we both did pretty good. I like your idea for Asajj Ventress more than my idea for Asajj Ventress, with the connecting the lightsabers to a dual-bladed and then just going on like a killing spree.
Yeah.
Like it maybe just increased like all her stats, like speed, damage output, and damage resistance, and then give her like the attack animations of like Darth Maul maybe.
Well, no, I don't think that they would copy and paste it, especially since it's also curved lightsaber hilts. So she would obviously have to do something to actually get the blade to hit the enemy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our ideas. How far are we into the recording?
It's stuck for me, so it's stuck on 15 minutes and 39 seconds.
We're about 22 minutes in. So this is all I had planned. I expected Taco to be here, so because if Taco was here, we would get probably another 10 minutes. And it'd be a nice 30 minutes, because normally these are, what, 40 minutes long? I think the first was 42 minutes, the second was 43 minutes. Right now we're only at 20 minutes, and we still have.
What we should do, we should also talk about some changes that we would like to see in Battlefront, like gameplay and movement, etc.
Oh yeah.
Maybe different maps, game modes, UI.
I would like to see lightsaber locking. Like if like maybe like a random chance if a lightsaber's blocking and another one attacks, that you get locked in like a.
Are you talking about something along the lines of like For Honor?
Yeah, like they lock in like with their lightsabers connected, and then maybe button mash to like knock their lightsaber out of the way and give a counter strike or something.
Yeah, I actually like that idea of doing something along the lines of For Honor.
Yeah. Just because.
What I would like to see more smooth movement, because it really feels like that they would be really like clicky and stiff whenever they would start fighting. But in the original two Battlefront games, they would move really smoothly and actually feel like they are actually killing enemy troops instead of just like jumping really stiffly towards them.
Yeah. Right now, like, the reason I want the locking one is because right now it doesn't feel a lot like lightsaber combat.
Yeah, it just feels like you're just spamming RT or R2 and then just wishing that you hit someone.
Yeah, but with locking, because it would actually feel like lightsaber combat, because like, right now, if they're blocking, your lightsaber just kind of goes through them without hitting them. There's no like actual blocking animation, and there's no locking. Locking. It just no.
Yeah.
It's blocking just makes you invincible, really.
Mhm.
It's weird. At least they got the blaster deflection right. You know how like the lightsaber kind of twirls in their hands when they deflect bullets.
Yeah, I would really like to see where they kind of like swing it, like if they don't do it like if they don't do it kind of like a parry, then they kind of just like kind of hit the blaster bolt somewhere else. But if they parry it, then that's whenever they can actually hit it back at the enemy.
Yeah. I would like to see some more maps, like a lot more maps.
Yeah, especially since Rise of Skywalker came out, we only got like one new map. I kind of wanted to be on like Exegol or something along, or just one of those other maps.
An Exegol, like I feel like Galactic Assault would be a good mode for Exegol.
Yeah, or yeah, it would probably be Galactic Assault.
Or the Starfighter one.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's boom, 2 good maps for Exegol right there. Like in the skies of Exegol as like the for the Starfighter ones, and inside like if you're on the Resistance, you have to fight your way inside Exegol, and if you're on the First Order, you have to stop them from getting inside Exegol.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a skin I would like to see Palpatine have. I would like to see Palpatine with like his support, like his life support systems. You know how
that would look pretty weird. Anything if they were to do something along those lines, it would probably just be like a probably just a map add-on. Maybe if you get close to him, he'll kill you, or if you shoot him, you're dead.
Yeah. I would also like to see. We have. Okay, so here's the idea I was talking about yesterday when we were talking about this. My idea for how they could add astromechs, because my roster got rid of all droid characters, but everyone really wants R2-D2, but no one knows how it would really work. I think as a reinforcement, have astromechs as a rebellion infiltrator reinforcement. Replacing, what do they have for infiltrators now? I can't remember. But they could have like a taser as their normal ability, because infiltrators are because astromechs are infiltrators. They can like get into the systems and open doors and stuff. So I feel like that would just be a good spot for astromechs.
Well, actually, no. What would be cool if there's like different characters. Well, like different like closed up places where it would. When I mean like closed up place, I mean a place that you're going to need an astromech to get into.
Yeah. Also, this is a personal want. I want them to add more gonk droids to the maps. I think we see one gonk droid. Gonk droids are in like most of the Star Wars movies. They're always in some sort of base, but yet there's only, I think we see them in like a rebel base, one of the maps, and that's it. Like I feel like we should have like maybe a gonk droid in like a Death Star map or something like that too. It'd be like just purely cosmetic, but I would like to see some gonk droids. I also think that we should like maybe have some protocol droids, or they should have some protocol droids like walking around in some of them, like the silver protocol droids. Oh, I just had a good idea. The Lucre Hulk?
Yeah.
The Lucre Hulks? I don't think we have any Lucre Hulk maps. Do we, like, inside the Lucre Hulk?
But that'd actually be probably really. That would probably be extremely interesting to see.
Yeah, and then maybe that's where you can have some protocol droids, because a protocol droid is like one of the first things we see in the Lucre Hulk in Phantom Menace. That and a huge droid army, but I would also just like to see some more life in the, because you know the thing I have always loved about Battlefront 2, especially Galactic Assault or Supremacy, is it feels like you're in the war zone because of how many players are on each team. It's just like there's a huge amount of, there's always like, no, even if they're not focused at you, there's always some sort of blaster bolts buzzing by you, and it just feels like you're in the battle. So right now there's a little bit of like fights going on in the background of the maps that you can't get to, but I think they should add more to those so it really starts to feel immersive. And maybe add a game mode where there's like 50, it's like a 50v50 with 100 total players. Just total mayhem. Maybe like a team deathmatch, probably. That'd be cool. Let's see. We are 31 minutes into recording now. We spent 10 minutes talking about that. Ooh, this might have to be a shorter episode.
I don't mind with it being short.
Yeah, me neither, but will the fans. Okay, great. One sec. Ugh. I just messed up the screen. I think I fixed it. Ugh. There we go. Fixed it. But, I think we're gonna have to end this one a little bit earlier than normal. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys in episode 4, which will probably be recorded tomorrow. Because tomorrow...
Yeah, if we can fit in that time.
Yeah, because tomorrow is supposed to be our new registered, recording day. But I had time I had time today, so I figured we could record it today. Or one of our episodes today. So I will see you guys later.
Alright.